Mncedi Madolo is a visual artist whose work is a balancing act between our past and present, his rural upbringing and modern city life. But he does paint the contradictions and tensions of our rainbow nation in beautiful images.
Living in an urbanizing South African city like Johannesburg has brought me to some of the realities of everyday living. And so my work tries to play with these paradoxes, which is stories on top of other stories, where you look into the backgrounds where it's pieced together by people's life experiences. People see it, especially if you're a South African. The works make so much sense because it relies a great deal on a South African trope, which basically has you looking at something that is very familiar to you, something that connects with you, because these stories, in as much as they are mine personally, they are not necessarily unique. And that's the nice thing about it, because then it helps to connect everybody else, because it's not just my story, it's everyone's story. My choice of career was greatly influenced by my grandfather. The man was quite the craftsman. He made a lot of things by hand, fixed a lot of things around the house, made furniture and that sort of thing. It helped me a great deal to be able to express particularly ideas that I have in my head and how to realize them into just physical things. So being around him, watching him work, it really helped me a great deal in order to understand how to make things, how to express ideas. So he was a great influence when it comes to particularly my choice of career.
Just 6 years old at the dawn of our democracy, Mncedi has used art to help him make sense of where and how he fits into it.
So one of the things painting really does is it's a very therapeutic process in itself, and it's very calm. It helps you to kind of connect with yourself, to just relax. You don't think about a lot of things besides what you're doing. You're able to be present in the moment, which, in our busy lifestyles, we don't get to do that as often as we'd like. So I do use my mediums of art. Some of the things that I do, for instance, is that I do a lot of cartooning, and so I do bring that a lot into my work. What it actually helps with is that I'm able to address some very serious topics, and I do that by bringing in a lighter perspective, which is kind of what editorial cartooning does when you see them in the newspapers, And so one of the things that I do is that I'll bring that in here with some traditional forms, and all this mixture kind of gives it this dynamic feel that you pick up in the work.
With the well-documented challenges it faces, Johannesburg still remains this artist's favorite muse.
What I find most inspiring about being in downtown Joburg is the buzz. It's the buzz, it's the sound. You can hear it. There's vibrations everywhere here. Everything is moving, everything is constantly, directing towards some kind of purpose. And that to me is a very, very different thing from where I'm from. And so I really try to try and capture this as much as humanly possible, and then try to bring it back into the canvas.
When he exhibits, Mncedi tries to get more of our rainbow nation to see art as both a financial and personal investment.
It's about being a South African. It's about living in urbanized parts of South Africa and what that means, navigating these spaces, particularly being a black South African. And the idea is that I try to tell these stories, and my use of color in making these artworks is that it's meant to draw in the viewer. It's meant to deal with very serious topics, but without depressing the audience. It's a living between the personal and the political, and how we navigate these spaces.
For a portrait of what is glorious, confusing and uniquely South African about our nation, an Mncedi Madolo original says it all.